This video is rated R and is intended for retarded audiences only.
Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to What the Fuck Did You Do to Your Build, the only show where your dignity goes to die in the Geneva Conventions, or suggestions as that matter. They get violated in about 30 seconds here. So let's dive into what weaponized autism has brought us this week, shall we?
That's awesome.
Hey, let's talk about this absolute gun-shaped suicide note. And here I was thinking Cobain used a shotgun. Buddy, Call of Duty called, actually, and, well, they don't want to license the gun. They want to file a restraining order against it and you. Yeah, they saw this build, and they effectively assumed it was a leak from their new Special Needs and Operators DLC, which coincidentally just turned into the Seth Rogen bit, and that's what they released it as because the model was so accurate. Hey, actually, check this out. Here's Sig dogging on the P320. Or not Sig, here's Call of Duty dogging on the P320.
Experience the evolution.
Folks, it's not a blueprint. It's a cry for help wrapped in cheap parts, delusions, spawned in a garage that smells like Axe body spray, tracksuits, and diagnosed but absolutely unchecked mental illness. This rifle looks like it was thrown together by a guy whose IQ is lower, right? Lower than the number of times communism has actually worked. And that is a big fat dough nut, which means that IQ is a tripping hazard in hell. It's not tactical at all. It is honestly it's mostly tragic. It's kind of like somebody built a gun with a hangover made out of parts that they found in a ditch on their way home from that night. That actually sounds like a fucking cool, maybe I should do that. Maybe that's a video idea. It'd be very Gopnik. Are you tired of your rifle running like a 97 Dodge Neon with 3 flat tires and a vape mod for an engine? Well, I would like to introduce you to the glorious and the majestic folks over at CMMG. Let's start with the Mark 47, a rifle so chunky, so aggressively American that it showed up to Thanksgiving dinner already covered in bacon grease. CMMG took the AK mag, slapped it onto an AR-15 platform, and birthed a firearm so freaking majestic it made Mikhail Kalashnikov rise from his grave, nod once, and then go back to sleep.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
And then there's the CMMG Banshee, the gun that made shooting fun again. This little demon giggles louder than a drunk trash panda in a dryer. Chambered in just about every caliber your credit score can't handle, it's the perfect gun for CQB, range days, and accidentally mag dumping into your neighbor's recycling bin because the trigger pull was just too smooth.
Eat a dick, Pam.
Seriously, if you're tired of budget builds, mall ninja LARPing, and I don't know, rifles that run like a Windows Vista update, go buy a CMMG. And of course, it is none other than the PSA crowd bringing us this absolute communist abortion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that Palmetto State Armory and their AKs are assembled in the United States, but let's be honest, they have about as much chance of surviving as you do in the middle of winter in a breadline in communist Russia. Seriously, why are Palmetto State Armories like the cosplay LARPers of the gun world? They show up to the range, right, looking like they're about to fucking repel an ISIS invasion in like Syria, but they can't figure out how to zero an optic. Hey folks, if there's a group out there that is trying the absolute hardest to look the most retarded, it is absolutely the PSA crowd. They're just neckbeards with knockoff gear and enough rail accessories to outfit a moon colony, and they're all strapped onto a rifle that costs less than a fucking vape rig. Maybe it was an optional upgrade. I don't know. Maybe you traded in your last functioning brain cell for a red dot that dims every time you experience regret. So it's off. Always. Look, buddy, just because you can doesn't mean you should, to quote Ian Malcolm, right? You strapped every fucking dollar store knockoff thing onto this gun like you were trying to win, I don't know, a Waffle House gun show raffle, right? Let's see what we got. The flashlight, the laser, the foregrip. Seriously, do you have a fucking flashlight bolted on there for those times you get lonely up in your LARP outpost defending against an insurgency that doesn't exist? You skipped the training part and went right to cosplaying a war criminal on a budget. So congratulations, you're not John Wick, you're John Whack.
Hair, whack. His gear, whack. His jewelry, whack. His footsteps, whack. Me, I'm tight as fuck.
This isn't a build, folks. It is a manifesto in confused identity. I mean, the only thing this rifle has killed is your ability to feel shame. It really does. Or it really has killed it off because I don't see any here. Seriously, if you showed up to a range day with this, I would think that there'd be a film crew following you around to film Special Ed 2 The Revenge of the Window Lickers. You telling me you're not? Because that would be fun. I'd stop training for a day to watch that. You would too, don't you fucking lie. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that's a video idea. This gun has about the same energy as the guy that we all know who tells girls he's a combat veteran because he rage quit airsoft one time after getting shot in the nuts. I got shot in the nuts at IV-88 by a douchebag wearing thermals. You know who you are. You know who you are. If, on the off chance Call of Duty does use this as a blueprint, it would be sold to troll 13-year-old kids with daddy abandonment issues. You get plus 15 cringe, plus 10 recoil, and plus 1,000,000%.
Emotional damage.
Every single time you reload, your character screams, "You never loved me enough, Dad!" as they throw their magazine on the floor like a toddler. Holy mother of Mattis, what in the Marine Corps cosplay build is this thing? It screams, I almost enlisted, but failed the ASVAB, so now I get my dopamine hits from, I don't know, doing gun memes in my basement and Monster Energy enemas.
Boof? You know, well, you stick it up.
It seriously looks like you tried to join the Marine Corps, and the recruiter took one look at you, sent you home, and then just mailed you some PTSD and a dishonorable discharge because they just fucking saw it coming a mile away.
How dare you!
Here you got a quad rail that's heavier than your childhood trauma. I mean, this thing is built like a cry for validation from a father who left before MySpace was even a thing. It is the absolute official gun of the guy who yells "Oorah" at Planet Fitness while struggling to re-rack a 35-pound dumbbell. Nobody cares that you went to recon, Brad. Seriously, nobody does at all. The rifle looks like it was assembled using blind rage, vape smoke, and I don't know, instructions found on the bottom of a Mountain Dew bottle cap. And I haven't even got to the bed, man. Jesus Christ. You took this picture on a bed that looks like it failed its own background check. That mattress has more war crimes embedded in it than half of fucking Africa, buddy. And that whale plushie, oh, that is not for comfort. That is absolutely a witness under protective custody after seeing you build this thing in your underwear while crying to Evanescence.
I am going to pour out the feelings of my soul through Evanescence's going under. Yeah.
Here you are LARPing as a Marine while your fitted sheet is holding on tighter than your girlfriend before she met somebody with an actual job and working breaks.
Man, my life sucks. I understand that. You're making it worse.
This is the rifle for the guy who tattooed his basic training unit on his left ass cheek. Yep, this is the official firearm of the guy who peaked in high school, ladies and gentlemen. They're still telling stories out there about that one touchdown, right? Like, over 2 decades ago, man. Nobody cares you almost went D1, Trevor. And they sure as hell do not care about a rifle that looks like it was assembled from leftover ego and the broken promises of recruiters everywhere. Man, such a bummer. Those glory days are gone, buddy, and judging by your wild build, so is your self-awareness. Folks, that is it. Remember, the ATF is gay and all gun laws are infringements. See you soon.
Go away, Boyden.